Hey y'all, look who I found. I found BPG. She joined us for another she gonna join us. She gonna join us one more time for another video. Tell everybody about yourself real quick, BPG.
BPG 313, hustler, motivator, lifestyle coach. I'm lying.
Hey,
You can
that's the best one. That's where we met.
lifestyle coach.
She had on a bad suit. She was dressed up as she was dressed like Kevin Samuel's like daughter, but it was like a loose fitted suit. And then she really started talking me down. You know what I'm saying? She was like,
The
you
loose
got to
suit,
get out of here.
crazy.
The loose suit was crazy. I was like, she was like, you got to get to your bag and get on your purpose and be purpose driven. Started telling me about my purpose, and I was like, you know what? I can listen to her. She a
Do you
spitter.
want to be a better black man? You just got to
Yeah,
be a blacker man.
you got to be black. Yeah, and I started to buy into it. I was like, you know what? I like
There
where
you
she's
go.
going. She's headed places. But you can find
A
BBG.
winner
She's on
girl.
same name. You can find her on TikTok and on YouTube. So y'all definitely go check her out.
Snubbing my family.
Yeah, this video is crazy, but
Women don't need men. Men need women. Men need women. We don't need you. You need us.
Oh, really? We need you? For what? I mean,
To
I
live.
get it. It makes you feel like boss bitches to make bold statements like that.
excuse me.
But it's hilarious how you never provide any examples to prove it. So how about it? I'm not trying to dish you here. I'm genuinely asking.
BBG, are there any examples that you could give? Do you think just give us like one or two examples as to what you think men need women for, besides to live?
To
Because
live.
we know like birthing, right? Obviously,
But no, we have to emphasize to live. This man is clearly jaundiced. Like this man has some kind of liver and or kidney failure based on his skin tone. Like
Jesus Christ.
no, men actually need women to live. Look at
Hmm.
the yellow around his eyes and the red, like all of this is red and flushed.
Mm-hmm.
No, men literally need women to somebody's not scheduling his doctor's appointments. I
He
don't
don't
know
have a
when the
woman.
last time he had a checkup. Like,
He don't have a woman though.
there's no way.
Yeah, he don't have a woman. I don't think. Damn. Oh God, I feel bad for him almost.
Somebody said, "Who is this guy? He speaks facts."
You see it right
How
there?
you never provide any examples to prove it. So how about it? I'm not trying to dish you here. I'm genuinely asking. Just what exactly do we men need you women for? What exactly is it that you provide that we men wouldn't be able to survive if you didn't provide it? Because I hate to break it to you, darling.
So I'm gonna tell you something right now. What men need from women, and I know this is like gonna sound bad or whatever, but hear me out. Men need women. We need women for validation. We need women for a vagina. We need it. And the reason why I say we need it, because he just said, what made me think about it is because he just said, because men won't die without it, or men will die without it. And I'm starting to think about all the men who are literally like in this country committing suicide and killing other people, because they don't have access to a woman.
For sure. And you know
So
what? In men who men who hate women, Caroline, I can't think of her last name, but the author talks about how the cure for men unaliving in mass amounts, and the reason why these incels are going around unaliving people in these mass amounts, they want the cure for that to be sex workers. They want for the cure for men who are incels, who are causing harm to the community, who are mass shooters. Like they want the cure for that to be
give them
sex
access.
workers, because they feel like if women give men access to sex again, then it will calm them down and it will stop them from unaliving bunches of people. Like that's a real thing.
Except for the fact that a lot of mass killers have been men or like who had access to women and then went out and killed the woman that they had access to. And then other
For
people,
sure.
like that guy who went to that nail salon that his wife, I think, ran. And the guy that went to the school and the woman was the teacher and he went in there and like shot a bunch of people and then killed us. Like, yeah. So no, I don't buy that at all. But it just goes to show you that men actually do need women. Also, well, we'll keep going. We'll keep going because there's going to be a bunch of reasons and examples of us bringing this up.
Ooh, it's rough.
Two women, 4. What exactly is it that you provide that we men wouldn't be able to survive if you didn't provide it?
Breast milk.
To break it to you, darling, but society, literally everything you use and take for granted every minute of every day was built by and is maintained by predominantly, overwhelmingly men.
White men. And
ain't that ironic?
we got to talk about the fact that it's white men because you know how when we have this conversation, the men who have this conversation who aren't white, and they say this, and I'm like, so you guys aren't clocking that the only reason why it's, you know, predominantly white men is because of racism and the patriarchy. Like, you can't connect that. That's so if it's predominantly white men who build this country, because the majority of construction workers are still white men, believe it or not. I know most people think it's like not white men. It is white men.
It's not. You're right.
And the majority of people who own construction companies are white men. The majority of linemen are white men. The majority of all the blue collar work are white men by far. It's not even close. It's not even close. So why do people think that is? Is that on accident or is that?
Oh no, for sure it's by design. For sure. Fascism in general, which is what I tell people all the time. Fascism relies on ahistorical, facts. Like it relies on what's considered a mythic past, a patriarchal mythic past that is validated by saying things like everything that you have and everything that you are and everything that you will be is contributed to you by a man. It's not true, which is so ironic that a white man would be saying that because, sir, Black people are the reason why you have, buildings and why you have canals. And it wasn't like they were separating the men from the women. They were having Black women as well building these huge monuments. Like Black women were contributed to that. But also your railways were not built by, just men. It was built by some of them Asian men, some of them, Black men and women. Like when after Reconstruction, Black women were the majority of the prison population, which means they were also the majority of those people digging the
ditches
and literally.
Yep.
So where are we going? Because you didn't do it. You sunburnt from yelling at us at your house. You wasn't out there doing it.
In your sunroom. You sunburnt from your sunroom. Get out the sunroom. It's hot.
Overwhelmingly men, not women. Men. Food, water, electricity, housing, the roads and sewers, the basic necessities of life, all of which you would struggle to survive night and day without, are provided by men. Hell, even the app and phone you used to make and upload this video to dismiss and demean men to be that so-called boss bitch was created and is maintained by men.
Not true.
It's created by Black women. The reason
created by a Black woman.
The reason why you're able to FaceTime, to Zoom, to be on an app where there are multiple callers and video is because of a Black woman. The reason why you can have computers is because of women.
Because they were the first computers. But you know what's so funny about that is he could have gave other examples. There's a bunch of examples that but the things he gave specifically, not only did women invent, Black women invented. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
What do you mean? This is crazy. And this dude, and this comment is irking me. Who is this guy?
He speaks from a nice, good Mason.
A nice, good Mason. Like, what?
Hell, even the app and phone you used to make and upload this video to dismiss and demean men to be that so-called boss bitch was created and is maintained by men. So again, darling, I ask, how is it women don't need men is maintained by?
That phrase, boss bitch, also was invented by a woman.
Who says that?
that shit is strictly reserved for women, by the way. But men co-opted it because we can't think of anything original, right? So they co-opted it on the right, on the MGTOW and the red pill right wing white people men, and they started to use it as a way to demean women. The same way they co-opted woke. So they co-opted boss
and
bitch.
they don't know what it means.
And they don't know what it
have
means.
no idea what it means.
Yep.
But also, I
Women
can't
don't-
think of the last time I've heard of a woman like going around telling people, "I'm a boss bitch."
No, but
Like,
you guys
that's
don't.
not a-
You women don't use it anymore because men took it and fucked it up the same way we afraid to use woke.
Like, oh my god.
Called boss bitch was created and is maintained by men. So again, darling, I ask, how is it women don't need men, yet men need women? Give us some concrete examples. Give us some proof. Because to me, it's pretty freaking obvious. If men suddenly stop doing all that they do, society
Women would be safer. If men stopped doing all the things that they do, women would be safer and happier. I don't know if men know that, because you guys don't do shit for women. We don't do shit for women as a collective. So we stopped doing the things we do, which is mainly harm women, then society would be safer for women and children and men, to be honest with you.
Literally. We would all be,
'Cause to
we would
me-
all be better off.
Everybody would be.
if men suddenly stop doing all that they do, society would cease to exist,
Cap.
not just in days, weeks, or months, but in mere hours.
What?
It's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to survive without men. So again, I'm genuinely asking,
Wait, hold on. What would happen? Just can you tell me, what do you think? What does he say? What would happen what would happen?
You know what would happen? The same thing that would happen the first time. The first time that we saw society go from being barbaric to being civilized was single-handedly because of women. Single-handedly because of women. When we moved from hunter-gatherer societies into the next phase of, of humanness,
Farming and
all of that, men completely lost their freaking minds. But the reason why civilization figured out how to survive was because of women. And if you don't believe me, because people do that, you can read a book called The Creation of Patriarchy, and in that first chapter it talks about how women single-handedly led the entire world out of barbarism.
shit.
concrete examples. Give us some proof. Because to me, it's pretty freaking obvious. If men suddenly stop doing all that they do, society would cease to exist.
It'll be perfectly okay.
Not just in days, weeks, or months, but in mere hours.
He put 10 on 2.
Obvious, you wouldn't be able to survive without men. So again, I'm genuinely asking, what the hell is it exactly that you all provide to men and to society that is so valuable that men wouldn't survive without it? Here's your chance, ladies. Inquiring minds want to know.
Okay, so okay. There are so many things that we could say, but I just want to say this and I'm gonna let you respond. The funniest shit to me about this is men categorically do better when they have women.
Literally.
We just do better when we have women. We do better. Look, men do better when the idea of a woman is present. Just the thought of, I can get a woman, or I want to get a woman, therefore I must do X, Y, and Z, leads men to do better things. Just that thought alone. So let's remove women actually physically being around us and being in our presence and yada yada. Just the thought of a woman compels men to be better people and to do things that they wouldn't have done devoid of a woman, right?
Yeah.
So hearing a man say that, what do we need women for? It's fucking.
And it makes men trust other men. When men have wives and families,
Yes,
they excel in business because other men think that they are trustworthy.
That's a
Other
good
men
guy.
think that they are sensible.
Yep.
Other men think that they are, responsible because they have this family they're caring for, which is so weird because it's opposite for women. People think that they're unreliable. They think that they're
Yep.
going to be calling off a lot, or
Yep.
that they, won't be contributing to work a lot, because they know that those women will be the primary caretakers for those children. But for
Yep.
men, It's the complete opposite. And we see it. We know that life expectancy increases when a man has a wife. We know that his quality of life increases when he has a wife. We know that it increases if he has a freaking daughter. Like, if he has a woman in his space to be able to care for him on a consistent basis, he lives longer. That is not the same way for women.
And he lives better. Not only longer, because longer is, you know
Happier.
what I'm saying? He's happier. He's healthier. Like, it's the how often men say the complete opposite of the truth that is scary to me sometimes. Like, that's the thing that's kind of frightening. I'm like, that's how far, like, because if there was like a kernel of truth in there, then I'm like, maybe they were tricked. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe they were duped. But this is what I'm saying. The way that they talk about it, it leaves me no other choice but to believe that you guys know the truth, and then you just say the complete you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the truth, and then you go, okay, here's the inverse of that. That's how I'm gonna grift. That's how I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm gonna sell this to everybody, is I'm just gonna say the opposite of all the things I know to be true. And that's the why, like, that shit is crazy to me. That blows my mind.
They think that it can't be contested. They think that it can't be contested. We see dudes all the time. We see dudes in your life all the time who will say things like what was that C Diddy said that time, where he was like, where you asked if there was proof that, you know, what was the question? It was something about proof that society existed before patriarchy. And he just like blurted out, there was none. And I'm like, well, first of all, breathe.
Yeah.
First of all, you're a little too excited to lie, but also there is proof. There is proof. Like, there's an expectancy that people don't read enough and don't understand enough or study enough to know, because there's also this like push towards humanities and social sciences aren't real education. Like, that's not something that you can really study. There's no job potential in that. You know, nobody really needs that stuff.
Which is actually cap, because they actually be getting paid.
They get paid well because
social
it's so few people.
Getting broke off. Yep, them social science be getting broke the hell off. I've seen it.
It's so few people. When I started to research for my PhD in film, a lot, like, the amount of jobs that were out there was astonishing to me, but also it was because there aren't many people who take it serious enough to be like, I'm gonna go all the way to the point of like PhD level. But that's what a lot of dudes expect when they have these conversations, is that he asked that question with the intent that no woman would be able to answer. Like, all the women would be like, oh, well, I mean,
I can't think of a time when.
I don't know. I can't think, except no. Computers. We talked about being able to use Zoom. We talked about society being led out of barbarism. We talked about women building canals and women being architects, women adding to literature and media. All of these, every aspect of your life has been touched by a woman. Now, the difference may be is that you don't know that it has been, because you may not be interested in reading about it. But if you actually take the time to search out that information, you'll find out more often than not, there were a lot of things that women contributed to, but just weren't credited for, because also a lot of their ideas and information was credited to their husbands.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, exactly. Same way with black people with slaves or whatever. We invent something. You don't know what the fuck black people invented during slavery.
Exactly.
You have no idea. But this is my logic when it comes to slavery. This is my logic when it comes to a time, 50 years ago and back. If a woman was present, if a black person was present, they probably invented it. Like, that's just what I assume about everything. Like, y'all can tell me whatever. People could say, no, he didn't. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. I might be dumb. I might not know nothing about it. I'm just telling y'all that if this man was a great inventor, but he had a wife, I'm like, his wife was there helping. At the least, she was helping. I'm not going to say he stole all of her ideas. I'm just going to say she was helping. Because my wife helped me. So I already know she was helping him. Okay, cool. If there was a black person there during slavery and whatever, if it was a thing to think about it like this, anything that would help you with labor, why would a white person invent anything during that time?
That's
that would
true.
make your job easier. How would they know what would make your job easier? What the fuck were they doing? They wasn't picking cotton. They wasn't
Literally.
sweeping. They wasn't mopping. They wasn't doing shit. We was doing that shit. So whatever got invented during that time, if it makes your life easier, 99.999% chance a nigga did it. Without a doubt. Same way with women. If a woman is there, if it makes your life easier, and all them household appliances, all of them, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, and it was a woman around that mother, I'm like, oh yeah, a woman did that shit. Because she was the one doing all the fucking labor. Why would you, a toaster oven? What man was sitting back like, you know what? Like, nigga, it was your mama. She was tired of putting the fucking toast in the stove. She was like, damn, I wish we could get this shit done in under 20, 30
in 2 seconds. Because he was gone. He didn't care.
He wasn't at the house.
He wasn't invested
he came home.
He wasn't invested in that.
They want us to believe the wives was giving they husbands honey-do list. Oh, and then the husbands was inventing shit from
Sweetheart, I need something that'll just, get this chicken done in 40 minutes. Can you do it for me, please?
And I sat back and I looked at the stove and I started to think to myself, damn, if we could just get the temperature to go around the turkey. Like, nah, nigga. You didn't.
I walked away from my job. Nigga on the keyboard.
Bang, bang, bang.
Kermit.
The typewriter. Oh, the typewriter. There ain't no keyboards back there.
Typewriter like Kermit the Frog. Just coming, pumping out ideas. No help from his wife.
I stayed up all night. I told her, get back. Stay out of here. I'm in my cave.
Floating all over his head. Like,
you
didn't do it. Women's life better. Like, and that's the weirdest part about it is like men don't intentionally try to make women's lives better in any other aspect. In any other aspect.
BBG, I swear to God, I don't know if you was on there last night. This man's, or yes, you was on there. You was up there. You was there. That man said, and I quote, he said, I want my woman to cook for me. I said, okay, but what if you can afford to cook? What if you made enough money to afford to cook? Would you still make her cook? And he said,
it's just about the love. I want her to want to love to cook for me.
Come on, man. Y'all hate these women for real. At this point, I don't even know what the fuck to say. So you gonna make your woman? He said the food don't even gotta be good. I say, excuse me.
You choosing bad food over a chef? Over a chef, over somebody that could professionally make your food. I guarantee you, if every day my husband came home and he had a full spread from a chef, he wouldn't care who got it there. He would, babe, you pay for this?
I ain't gonna lie.
Hold on, you hooked this up.
He
would be impressed.
If it's between, I gotta whisper this, my wife cooking. If it's between my wife cooking and the chef cooking, I'm gonna pick the chef.
You don't gotta whisper that. I guarantee you.
I gotta whisper because she in the other room. If it was between them, I'm picking the chef 100 out of 100.
Don't even play that lady like that. She don't care. Because if you're willing to pay for it,
she don't care. And she would pick. Hey, I went to school to learn how to cook, and she would pick the chef over me too.
Man,
and that's all I'm saying. I can't believe. That's how I know y'all hate women for real. That type of shit right there it be the little stuff. It don't be the big stuff, you could tie it with some like political shit or some like, oh, they don't want to give up, right? You know what I mean? They're afraid of the competition in the workflow. Okay, you can maybe rationalize it with some sprinkles of capitalism in there. You know what I mean? Right. Whatever, right? With that type of shit, I'll be like, oh, that's what I kept telling myself. Like, so you just want her to do labor. Mm-hmm. You need her to prove her love for you through doing a laborious chore or an action.
But he wants her also to be tired because she has to have a disabled resistance. She has to have a disabled resistance. She has to be tired. She has to be exhausted because by the end of the day, the other thing he wants to do is have sex to her. The likelihood of her turning down, like more often than not, she's going to give in and be like, you know what? Just forget it. Just do whatever, whatever you're going to do. And right. Just go ahead. Like she's, but it's not, and all of that ties into the experience that he wants to have with her. Because truth be told, I tell men this all the time. This is the one piece of advice that I give men consistently, and they don't listen to it never. Stop letting that lady go to bed tired, because if she's exhausted, if she been with your kids all day cleaning your house, she done work, now she got to come home because you want a fresh cooked meal, and she can't cook it earlier in the day because you can't heat it up in the microwave. She got to cook it fresh so when you come home it's hot. She's tired. She doesn't want to do anything with you because of the fact that she's exhausted. If you make sure that there are so many things in place where you're helping so much that by the time she gets home, all she can think about is like, okay, he already did this part. Okay, maybe I gotta cook, but he said he gonna do the dishes. He gonna put the kids to bed. Okay, while he's putting the kids to bed, let me go find that little outfit, child. Let me go find that. Which color bra did he say? He said he liked lace. Let me go find that little lace thing. And now she can spend more time thinking about things that both of y'all care about, but she can actually take the effort to be like, okay, let me.
Yeah.
Okay. Here he come. Let me figure out how
lay it
to
out.
lay. Because she's one, she's excited, and two, she's eager, she's ready, she's willing to be able to have that experience with y'all. A lot of dudes ain't trying to have that experience with their woman. They trying to have sex to her, but also they want her tired, because even if she does say no, the likelihood of her saying no after 3-4 times you begging, asking is slim to none, because she's literally exhausted. She can't fight back.
That's facts. That's 100% facts. Hey, BBG, thank you for joining me. That was great. We're gonna have to spin the block again. I don't know, maybe like next week or something like that. If you can, set aside a little time.
I don't be doing nothing.
All right.